Hey there, Coach Amy coming back to you today talking about blood sugar. Learning to adopt a clean eating lifestyle does not have to be complicated. Making small, manageable changes a little bit at a time is key. Knowing that learning how to eat clean comes in phases and not usually all at once. It's unrealistic to expect to drop all your habits at the same time, throw away all your food in the pantry, and learn to eat completely clean overnight. You might have a disgruntled family doing it this way. I'm a mom and a wife, and believe me, I've made my share of mistakes when it came to getting my family to eat healthy. The biggest thing I learned was that they didn't care that the food I gave them was good or bad for them. They just cared that it tasted good. Now, anyone who knows me knows how I love a good challenge. So now, my daily challenge is to see if I can get my kids to say my food is good. In this case, I've won. But if I find them trying to feed the food to the dogs then making a PB&J, I've lost. But I'll talk more about that in another segment on family habits. My goal in this segment is to help you understand how certain foods affect your metabolism and help you burn fat. Because when you understand why, the harder you will try to make better choices. Let your family see your changes first, then little by little encourage them to make the changes too. It may go over much more smoothly this way. 3 key points to keeping it simple on remembering your blood sugar when you eat or don't eat. First is the glycemic impact, not to be confused with the glycemic index. The idea of counting carbs and choosing foods solely based on the glycemic index number is an old school of thought and doesn't teach you the proper nutrient-rich choices to make. You won't need to count any numbers by learning the simple way of controlling the impact on your blood sugar. If you took the time to Google glycemic index, you'll find that a number is associated with every food. This number will most likely leave you feeling confused, and it really doesn't give you the full story. Science and research shows that the impact is far more important than the index of the number. Let me explain a little further. The glycemic impact means the quality of the food plus the quantity of the food. The glycemic index is simply a numeric ranking system of what foods containing carbohydrates do to your blood sugar levels. Almost every food contains carbohydrates. You may have heard or read that carrots or watermelon are high on the glycemic index, that they have high sugar, and to stay away from them. Well, that's not necessarily true if you consider the amount of that food eaten and what other food may be eaten with it. See, the sugar content of carrots would spike your blood sugar if you ate 5 cups. Did you get that? Who eats 5 cups of carrots in one sitting? So see, the quantity matters greatly when considering the impact of the food on your blood sugar. Carrots and watermelon are a single ingredient food and have great health benefits. I would never suggest anyone to stay away from a health food just because of a number attached to it. Did you know that a Snickers bar ranks the same as carrots on the glycemic index? So in reality, if you're going for what's healthy, the choice is obvious. No, not the Snickers bar. So let's take a look at how these foods have an impact on your blood sugar. You could feasibly eat 1 cup of carrots at one sitting. They are a vegetable and have carbohydrates, which will put your blood sugar on the rise. Not dangerously, because remember, carrots have fiber. But if you ate 3 ounces of protein like grilled chicken breast with the carrots, you've lowered the impact on your blood sugar, therefore lowering your chance at fat storage, because the protein from the chicken blunts the blood sugar from spiking. So to keep this simple for you, anytime you eat a fruit, vegetable, or dairy, be sure to have a protein like nuts, seeds, eggs, or fish along with it. This will keep you in the safe fat-burning zone. The second point to consider is cooked and ripened foods. When vegetables are lightly sauteed or steamed, they retain much of their nutritional value, making your job easier in reducing unwanted fat. Plus, you get to reap all the extra benefits from veggies like cancer-fighting properties, increased bowel function, and clearer skin. Overcooking vegetables so they become soft or mushy reduces the value greatly and decreases much of their benefit. So, if you're cooking vegetables, just keep the temps low and cook them for short periods of time. As for rising sugar content, you may have heard that if a banana has brown spots, it has more sugar. You heard right. The more ripe a fruit or vegetable turns, the more chance it's going to have and higher sugar, therefore affecting your blood sugar, and in the end, making it harder for you to reduce unwanted fat. So to keep this simple, just remember to keep your fruits and vegetables firm if you want to burn. The third point is about skipping meals. If you are like most people, then you may be skipping meals, then choosing foods high in processed carbohydrates for a quick meal. You may not even know you've skipped a meal, but going more than 3 to 4 hours without a snack or a meal means you've skipped a meal. If you wake up at 6 a.m. and don't eat your first meal until 11 a.m., then you've skipped a meal. When you've skipped a meal, your blood sugar drops, possibly leaving you with a famished, hypoglycemic feeling. Then you look for a quick fix and go for something with higher sugar content like yogurt, bagel, biscuit, donut, or crackers. Although this may help your blood sugar pick back up quickly, you're quickly left with the same famished, hypoglycemic feeling and searching for high-carb foods again. This vicious cycle continues throughout the day, putting you in fat storage zone and putting you at risk for leptin and insulin resistance. So what do you do about this? Just 2 things to remember. Choose nutrient-dense foods. When you choose nutrient-dense foods, you eliminate those highs and lows, you have more energy, feel satisfied longer, and are burning fat at the same time. The fat burning zone is when your blood sugars are kept at a constant level. The good news is that you get to eat more food. Many of my clients are surprised when they see just how much they're asked to eat. You may have heard that you can eat your way to being thin. Well, it's true when you make the proper choices. Remember that the energy and life you bring to each day comes through good nutrition. Examples of nutrient-dense foods are pretty much anything you find in the produce section of your grocery store, like avocados, apples, spinach, squash, etc. Calorie-dense but low-nutrient foods would be things like boxed and processed foods, including Hamburger Helper, Lunchables, hot dogs, donuts, and fast food drive-thru meals. And the second thing to remember is choose protein, fiber, and healthy fats with each meal. You will hear this throughout these lessons. Protein, fiber, and fat every time you eat make a sexy body that can't be beat. This really is so simple when you think about the choices you have from each of those categories. And if you're just learning what foods fall into those categories, we've made it super simple by providing foods lists and recipes from my cookbook. If you choose just one food from each category, you've put yourself in the driver's seat of the safe fat-burning zone. And now let's talk a little bit about science. It's important to know that every one of your cells needs sugar to survive. The issue is that most people consume too much unhealthy sugar. Your body regulates blood sugar levels so that they are not too high or too low. But what happens when your body consumes more than it needs? Carbohydrates from the food you eat break down into sugar. And this is a normal process, and it's important because the blood sugar is fuel for your body. Once your body recognizes that you've eaten and there's sugar available, your pancreas releases a hormone called insulin. And insulin is the driver that brings the sugar into the cells. Once the sugar is dropped off, your blood sugar levels go back to normal range and insulin levels stabilize because their job is done. But if extra sugar is left over, your liver and muscles hang on to it in case you need a rush of energy later. However, if you eat excess amounts of processed, high glycemic and sugary foods, your liver, muscles, and cells can only store so much sugar, and the rest goes to your fat cells. What's the power nugget here? Overeating causes bodies to be overfat. But most of the time, the reason for overeating is that not enough nutrient-dense foods are consumed, so the body keeps calling for more nutrients. And the typical habit is to go back for more calorie-dense, unhealthy foods high in carbohydrates. Okay, all this talk about sugar is making me, well, kind of hungry. Just joking. I'll save my treat for Sunday and let my salad go to work for me. Let's go over a quick couple of suggestions on helping you maintain healthy blood sugar, and in the next lesson you'll learn more about your fat storage and fat burning hormones. Some food suggestions to help you control your blood sugar. First, 1 tablespoon of organic apple cider vinegar each day can curb your appetite, cleanse your liver, and help you lose weight. Also, adding 1 cup of kale or 2 cups of spinach to your morning smoothie brings you satiety and tons of nutrients to help your body go to work for you. Here are some supplement suggestions. A protein shake. There are many different protein shakes on the market, so it's best to be educated on what's in them before you choose one. If you're considering a whey shake, be sure that they are RBST free and/or hormone free and sweetened only with natural sweetener like stevia. They should contain no artificial ingredients or dyes. Same thing for plant-based proteins. Look for organic ingredients, no added sugar or artificial ingredients. It's also a benefit to having at least 5 grams of fiber in your shake to keep it balanced. These are a great way to help you get that meal in when you're on the go or still training yourself to eat breakfast or a snack. Shakes are a great help to get that meal in that you might be missing during the day. And this is important in helping you control your blood sugar and helping you feel full longer. Alrighty, now you're in the know on how and why to keep your blood sugar in balance. You'll be on your way to turning your body into a fat burning machine. So until next time, make it a healthy day.